We've been super busy over the last few videos and the trailer's come a long way. We've fixed and repaired the frame, added new serving hatches, we've even added a brand new floor. The kitchen's in, it's been painted. In the last video we threw on a new set of tyres, painted the rims and then added a few other bits. So yeah, progress has been good, but now it's crunch time. Wow, it's a lot of stuff. So today's plan is to get all this in. We, believe it or not, we started in March and it's now September. So electrics, sink, tap, lights for outside, nice LED strips for the back. What else we got? The back of the worktop, so some nice paneling, mud guards, upstand, some wood for lights. So inside it's hot. That black roof makes it so hot. We're going to get that panel in, that nice panel all along the back. We need to fix this in properly, so we're going to do that. Then we can get the upstand, panel in, sockets can go on. We need to put a cable for the main power coming in. It needs to go into the side and in here. I need to take these off because I need to put the mud guards on. So they've got to come off so I can fix the mud guards onto the back. And then we're going to panel this a little bit and then paint it all black. So, oh yeah, and up top we need to put the lights in. So quite a lot to do still. So all that today has got to go in there. So let's get it done. Right, first job today, wheel arches. Simple enough, but getting them lined up properly makes all the difference. I've seen some of these where they sag in the middle, so I want to try and avoid that if possible. So I started by sizing them up and getting them into position. I used a block of wood under each one just to make sure that it sits right. Once they were sitting where I wanted, I set the brackets on top of the arches, marked out the holes and then drilled them ready for fitting. Luckily, one of the brackets lined up perfectly with the wooden framing I had inside, so I can fix that straight into it. The other side, however, did not, so I had to bolt that. Because I'd taken off the boards before, it was really easy to do. Nice and solid. Next, I cut a small slit into the wheel arch where it lined up with the brackets, and that will help it slide on neatly. Clean fit, sits flush, looks great. I then added a couple more brackets, one to the front and back, and this is just to make sure everything was properly secure, and that's that side done. Right, with the wheel arches on, it's now time to fix this MDF board on properly before we can get our nice new slatted wall put on. So I'm going to go around the whole trailer, make sure all the MDF's on, get it fixed on properly with some screws, and then here I am just putting the last few on. Remember, this is where the consumer unit's going to go. We're just covering it up. This is screwed in and it's nailed in. It's not glued in, I don't know why that glue's there. And that's done. Next job. So the next job was to start running the 6mm cable out to the commando socket on the outside of the trailer. We've used a 32 amp commando socket, not a 16, because with everything on, I think we draw nearly 30 amps of power. So that's going to be the main hookup point where we're plugged into power. There we go. Once we're wired in, I ran the cable through the trailer to the spot where the consumer unit's going to be fitted. Right, everything's in as I want it. We're going to put that there now. I'm going to fix it in. So let's do that. I do not believe I've gone over this shelf before, so I made this with leftover plywood from the floor. And this is going to probably hold lots of stuff, and it's going to get underneath where the serve's going to be. Probably River, or myself, or Nikki. And then maybe Coffee will go underneath it. We're not quite sure yet, but we thought it's quite a nice sort of area to have stuff. And this, at the moment, this is our only storage. But I'm sure we'll have more later on. And then I'm sure I'm going to have to adjust that. So when I put the countertops on, I might have to move it. We'll see. But it's on for now. Coffee shelf. So next was time to move on to these ceilings. So this is where the rivets joins the steel outside, but it corroded. If you watched previous videos, it all rotten through and had to fill a lot of the holes. And I was going to see how it looked once it was painted, but I don't like it. So I decided to go for these aluminium strips. And all I've done is riveted the top on, wedged the bottom against the wood that I put on earlier, and then glued the backs with just some sticks or silicone. The peel is real. And then that's it really. So it's pretty simple, makes it look a lot nicer. And then we're going to cover the middle bit with a piece of wood so you won't see where they join. It's quite nice. Cool. They're probably going to fall off, but they'll do. Next up was the upstand, and this matches the worktop. It's really simple. I measure it, I cut it, make sure it fits, and then stick some glue on the back, and then put it on. That was it. Simple. But the next job, this is the one I've been looking forward to the most. This is where this trailer actually looks snazzy. So we're getting on the slatted wall at the back. So they come in small strips, so we just got to cut them down to size and then whack them all on. It's really easy. They slot together, cut them to size, bit of glue on the back, and then I think I'm probably going to have to put some like secret screws in later on just to make sure it's fixed, because in transit the vibration might make it fall off. I don't know, but just to be sure, I don't want it falling onto stuff while we're driving. So I'm going to get it on with glue first, and later on I'm going to get my pilot holes, get a nice little screw in, and then just paint it over in black, or get some black screws. We'll see. So yeah, look at this go on. I'll let you enjoy. So right now all I'm doing is I'm sanding down the edges because my blade was trash, and then with them sanded down I can lay them all flat and just make sure they're all roughly the same size, and then I'm going to put them back on. I should mention now that these are not acoustic, these are just normal slatted panels. I think it says they're made out of MDF. They're definitely plastic on top, they're quite brittle, but they're waterproof and they'd be easy to clean, so that's why we got them. I ran out of glue. I had no idea how much I need, so I ordered some more. Right, I got it. Hey, mate. You're right. Thanks a lot. See ya. And then I forgot to film putting the rest on, and then I also forgot to film this paneling, which looks wicked, by the way. I actually think I like this more than the acoustic paneling. So this looks really cool. So all I did here was got some MDF strips that I got cut. I think I had to cut some. And then just nailed and glued them in, and then you can see where I filled the gaps there with some wood filler. But yeah, it's wicked. We're actually going to paint that grey, I think, not black. But it looks nice. Let me know what you think. And then all I'm doing here is caulking the edges and then using some like soapy water to smooth off. Done. That is insane. Wow, all I can say is what a transformation. So now we can get the serving hatch and ordering hatch sort of worktops on. So this is just normal softwood. I'm just going to measure it up and then hopefully join it all together and look pretty nice. So let's get that in. That's me pondering how it's going to go in, how's it all going to go together. And then midway, the new gas struts came for the hatch, so we got those on. Ready? 1, 2. Oh yes, that's so satisfying. Good. Okay, job done. Right, let's get onto the back bit. So yeah, this is going to be a trial and error, but we'll just have to see how this goes. It's little wins, guys. It'll add up. Right, so onto the back part. So I was pondering how to do this for a while, so how it has to happen. I saw this on another YouTube video. So this will open up into the trailer. So I've just used like shed door hinges. I'm going to put the wood on, fix it on. Once it's fixed on and I'm happy with it, we can then sand it down, glue it, and make sure it's nice and strong. But that will sit so it doesn't hit the worktop, and it gives me room still to sort of operate. So I'm pretty happy with that, and we'll get to the sanding of that later on. But next, let's tackle these back boxes for the sockets along that backboard, because I had to change over all the mattresses because they weren't deep enough, so I had to get some extra deep ones. I think I looked around and found these screw fix or someone like that for pretty cheap. They're just a little bit deeper. And then they were pretty safe and sound, snug and tucked away, ready for the brand new. Oh, look at those. They're nice. They're probably going to scratch up, but they look good. That works. Oh, right. We're not going to screw them in because we'll let the electrician have a look at these. But they're looking alright. I can't see any nicks. There's no copper on show. Yeah, they look alright. Just finish these two. On. Sockets are in. It is that time. So we looked for these lights for a little while, and then we found they're about £40 a light for the metal ones. But we found these ones, they're about £5-6 each. They come in twos. I think actually B&Q sell them for like £5-6 each. But they're effective, look cool. So we're just gonna put these outside lights in. We've got 2 at the side and then 2 at the back. And hopefully in the winter, or when it's dark, it'll just look quite nice. There we go. It's in. I've riveted it this time. If it doesn't work, we'll take them down. Put bolts in. And then in here we need to connect this. I need to strip it back and then connect it to these connectors. It should be quite simple. It's just these are quite tough to get off compared to normal twin and earth. So let me whiz round and get everything done, and then that should be all the electrics minus the lights, which do still need to go up. All right, let's go. Cool. So we're doing really well on the trailer. Let's have a little update. So we made good progress. We got the lights in at the sides. I had to redo these with bolts so they're tighter. What have we done? So all the electrics now are in and ready. They're not in, but they're all wired up, ready so an electrician can come, check them, make sure they're all right. Then we can put them in properly. This side still need painting as well. So they're all done. We just need, so that's in as well. We just need to put the lights up. So we're gonna do the lights today. So we've got the wood lights. We've got these cool, I don't know what they're called. But yeah, so we're gonna get the lights up, and then we need to get these bits on the other side as well, just to hide this nastiness. And then we should be ready for the electrician who's coming at the weekend to put the consumer unit in. And yeah, that's about it really. And then once that's done, we can start getting, we need to get the sink in. So I can put the plug under there. But yeah, so close, so close. We're getting there, we'll keep going. It's finally time to get those lights up. So we're going to sand down the piece of wood first, and then we're going to drill some holes where the batten holder's going to go. So we didn't go for pendants because we're worried that they're going to swing around in transit. We've just gone for these small batten holders so the lights are actually fixed in place, just a bit more secure then. While I've got the sander out, I'm sanding down that top. I'm going to take that off, glue it together properly, and sand that down as well. So we'll do that, and then we'll get onto this light. Cool, right, let's get this done. We'll wire this up, and then we're gonna put some pieces of wood on the ceiling to attach it to. Let's do that. So that's the start of it. I need to put a connection unit here because I think we're probably going to need some downlights. So we're going to potentially put some downlights in and then connect it to that wire. So I think that's what we're going to do. Right, here we go. So we've gone from our flexi to a twin and earth. We'll put a lid on that. That could be our junction box, and then it's going to join up to here. So we're going to put it up and see how well it fits.
this is just to see if it's in the right place. There we go. Yeah. So that works good. So all we need to do, we've got some pieces of wood to run, like one there and one there. So we're going to fit those, and then we can put this up to it.
So I'm just using these two pieces of CLS timber to attach to the roof, so the light's got something to stick onto. I didn't want it flat to the roof because I wanted all the wiring to be hidden. And this actually turned out to be much more fiddlier than it needed to be. But I got there in the end, put the battens up all on my own. But as always, we ran into an issue.
Good news, it works. Bad news, my bolts are way too small. So that's 5 mils down the drain. Yeah, new bolts, bigger bolts. Oh, mate, nothing always works first time, does it? Right, new bolts, I suppose. Let's go. We did it. We got it up by putting some of these in rather than bolts. It's a lot easier on your own. So I've got, you can kind of see it there. That's all right. I'm happy with that. I put another load in. It's raining now, so I'm gonna do it later. But I'll do another load later. Get them in, and then we should be pretty good, to be fair. So let me get that on, and then I'll show you the next bit. Update. It's in. Zoom out a bit. It's in. It's strong. So now we just need to connect this up to, well, not connect it, but put it through. Put some conduit on, just to protect it, and then I'm going to get this screwed up, and then we'll come back when that's done. Shannon, look at this kid. He's making a. Shannon, say hi.
Hi.
He's making a cat. What do you call it? A cat what?
I don't know. Cat tower.
Like a cat tower, cat tree. Doing quite well. Clever kid. We're back. Right. So we drilled a little hole through here. I'm going to wire up the lights, I think, and then put it up to the ceiling, because then it's done. Can you come and push? Put your fingers on top of that. Just push it down. That's enough. And then can you screw that in? That's going to look really nice. We'll get the other two done off camera because they're really fiddly, and I don't want to kill my camera. You can do it?
Yeah.
You reckon you can do that?
No.
I reckon. We'll try. Let's go.
You probably could have done it, to be fair. So this is finally going up. Everything slides in between the two bits of wood, so it actually fit perfectly. And then I've started to screw it up already, and it's looking good. This is pretty much exactly how I wanted it to look.
Two more screws here, you can't see it. Got those two screws to do, and then this actually needs staining. We're going to stain that a little bit darker. We want it to match. Just flip it, be easier. We want that wood to match that wood, which is apparently walnut, but when you search walnut, really dark. So I'm going to go and have a look. I'm going to take a little sample with me to the shops. There we go. job done. Whee. Looks like a kitchen now. Let's have a look from the outside. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So any issue I think we might have is quite dark over here. So I might have to put some downlights on the back or something at some point. And then, I like these, like this, but I don't know if to paint them black. I think it looks pretty smart, but we'll ask the missus. She gets last thingy, and I need to go get some paint for this. So let's go get some paint for that. Electrics is done, and we're just waiting for the electrician to come. So then, 2 more covers to do, 3 more covers. That's cool. And I got to do the electrics down here because this back box is too shallow for all the wires. So I need to get a new back. I've got a new back box like that one, a bigger one. So I need to get that, drill the holes in, and put that all together. I think we're good. I can't think of anything else that needs doing. Oh yeah, sand. Sand down the last bits before I paint. I might do that now before I get the paint actually. So let's crack on with that. Paint. We have some goodies. Here we go. Some nice paint for the bit where some varnish. Hopefully this varnish will be better than one I tested yesterday. I'll show you. And then some more stick salt because this thing is, well, it says in the name, I can stick everything with it. So we're going to get out to the trailer. There's the keys. Let's get outside. Very windy today, and hopefully it won't rain, but it might. Look at it. It's looking pretty good. Open. Oh, still leaks a little bit. Right, oh yeah, new lights. So here we go, nice and dark. We're going to paint that grey. That's going black. It's really dark, sorry. Black, black, and then we painted this yesterday. Let me get the camera light on. You can't see, but it's a bit orangey. And we want it to kind of match that. So that's what we got. So job is paint, stain, and then I need to sand that down properly and then get it refitted. And I think that's it. Oh, hello. You coming in? Cats love it. It's like a second home. Right, yeah, let's get going.
Sorry about the basketball court in the kitchen. But yeah, let's get going. So it's now time to start painting. So luckily, we convinced Nikki to go with a grey here, not another black. And it makes this wall pop a lot nicer. With that grey paint on, I'll show you in a minute the actual outcome. We're going to go around and paint the rest of the trailer black. So I didn't get away with that, but I think actually it suits it better because it hides a lot of the imperfections in the wood. We don't really want people looking here. We want people looking at the back pit. It looks nice from the hatches.
So I'm pretty happy with how it is for now. We're going to do a final touch up when it's all done, when the lights are in, because I know what's going to happen is we put the lights on, we're going to see all the imperfections basically. So this is this painted for now, so that's all looking finished. Need to touch up here because I want this open to touch that up, but it's so windy that everything's blowing everywhere. But this is done, we're happy with this. So we're going to go ahead and take this off and we'll see how it is. We've had 3 coats. We've only used about an inch of that paint. Let's have a go. Let's start up here. So yeah, that's it. Step back. It's looking pretty sharp. Done.
How nice does that look? And that means the next job, we can do the sink.
Bosh. Right, we're back and it's finally sink time. and it's windy again. This is going to do my head in, but I need the hatches open because I can't see still. So we have gone for a 1.5 sink, and it should fit in theory. It's supposed to fit in a 600 unit. A lot of traders have 2 small bowls, but I actually don't like them. And they're there to please, I think, the food hygiene. I think it's food hygiene. So you need 1 bowl for your dishes and your knife and forks or whatever, another bowl for hand washing. So when you get those little bowls, they're almost like irrelevant. Like, what are you going to wash in that small little basin or bowl? Like, nothing. So bigger bowl, because we want to wash up our blender and then hand washing in here. I think it's more often that we're going to do hand washing. So we'll put the hand washer on the right, so it's closer to everything else we need to do. So let's try and get this marked up where we want it, and then hopefully it'll fit. We just need to be aware of the socket. I don't think it's long enough, so I might have to make that longer because we have to put the water pump underneath. Let's have a look.
Yes, finally sink time. So this was pretty simple. Line it up, put some tape down, mark it, and then come in maybe a centimetre and a half, and that's your cut line. And then we can cut it out.
Right, committing. There, see, I nearly cut the wrong line straight away.
So I'm just going to cut in the corners first. So my jigsaw's broken, so I'm going to use a few different tools, and I can't actually get to the end very well, so I'm using this multi-tool with a saw bit on it, and then my circular saw. And boom, there you go.
Oh, there we go. First time. There we go. We have a sink. That is sick. Where's the power? Yeah, that works. That'll work. Right, I need to clean this up. Yeah, I can't work like this. Let me clean this up. Okie dokie. Let's do the tap.
I'm just measuring up where I want the tap. I want it right in between the 2 different sinks so I can swivel it. And the tap we've got actually has a hose, so it will reach both quite easily. And then whenever you cut fresh wood, especially when there's water outside the sink, just make sure you seal the exposed wood. So I'm just going to put some like water down PVA glue around, and then I'm actually going to go around in a minute and silicone it just to make sure.
Cool. So this has had time now to dry. Yeah, it's dry. It's nice. So we're gonna put the tap in. And then get the sink in. One tap that is in and it's solid. Right, sink time.
There we go. The tap is in now. It's time to put the sink in. So with the sink, we're just going to put some silicone around that edge so it sticks to the work surface, and then water can get underneath. And then I realised I hadn't actually done the silicone around here, so I thought I'd get it done. I used a piece of old cardboard to smooth it out so everything's covered.
It's not pretty, but hopefully that should stop any ingress of water into the worktop. Oh my word. Oh. The new sink. So all I need to do is weigh it down now. So I think I'm gonna put something over the top. I might pop a little bit more silicone under the edges just to make sure that it's not coming out. I'd like a little bit to come out, and then I can trim it off later on. I don't want anything going under there, so I'm going to do that now. But yeah, sink is done. Just need to put these bits in, and I'll show you everything when it's done. Here we go. Just to show you what I did, I used the old cutout and then put a couple of 10 kilo weights on it to weigh it down, and then I put more silicone in, and then I'll just trim it off at the end. If I touch it now, I'll probably smear it and it'll be really difficult to get rid of. So, done. Cool, yeah. Right, the sink is still drying, so now it's time to get the varnish on to the size we're going to use. Flip it. We've got some Rust-Ins Quick Dry satin oak, so hopefully it matches this kind of, and Nikki's going to be happy with it. So let's get it in.
If you were just wondering what happened, I managed to get silicone on the floor and step in it, so I had to clean it up quickly. So right, that is done. Sink's looking wicked. Now it's time to get these sides done, and then we're pretty much done, you know. Just got the lights to finish up, and then I think it is actually job done. Oh no, we just got these little brackets to do. So these little cuties allow their serving counter to flip back so we can shut the hatch. This trailer has come a long way, and finally, it's nearly done. Wow, she's looking amazing. Can you believe we've come this fast from what it used to look like to now? It is so much nicer. It is pretty much done. We are practically ready for our coffee machine, our fridges, and this place is ready to go. So guys, thanks for watching. We did it. Huge steps closer to getting this thing up and running. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.